Hello everyone, my name is Claudia Benitez and I'm going to present to you my research project for the Wikipedia website. First, I wanted to tell you a little bit what I'm going to talk to you about today. First, I would like to define our problem. After that, I wanted to tell you the methodology that I used during this project. After that, I'm going to talk to you about my usability findings and some users' insights. And then I would like to propose some additional testing, like iterative testing, accessibility testing, eye tracking plan, and a stakeholder engagement plan. So most of us are familiar with Wikipedia. It's actually one of the most visited websites in the world. Sadly, it hasn't been changed or refined during the last 10 years. But the website its technology has, and so its users. So what I wanted to know with this research was what are the motivations, feelings, and some frustrations the user faced when using the Wikipedia website. After that, I was really surprised when the user proposed some very interesting ideas about how Wikipedia can improve and how their experience can be improved too. So the methodology that I used during this project was first, I defined the features that I wanted to study. After that, I create some tasks. Then I did usability testing with real participants, and I'm reporting my findings. So the usability findings. The demographic of my participants was the following. The age, 80% of them were between 30 to 45 years old. 20% of them were between 18 and 29. 80% of them were male and 20% of them were female. And their education level was 80% of them had a bachelor's degree and 20% of them had a high school diploma. So the first feature that I wanted to investigate was the search bar. For this one, I create a series of tasks. I told the participants like something like imagine you are planning your dream holiday. How will you search for more information about the country that you wanted to travel to? So 80% of them had a complete success and 20% of them had success with issues. So most of them were quickly locate the search bar and they type the name of the country like Brazil or Mexico or Canada, and they were able to quickly arrive to the page, to the information page of the country that they wanted to visit. Um, the time of the task was a median of 31 seconds, and the number of click was 80% of them did it on the first click. The time of this task was really fast. The shortest one was 10 seconds, and the people that took longer was because this participant wanted to get familiar with the interface of the website and read everything about it before doing any click. So I think that it was a valid click. It was a valid answer. Just this particular participant took a little bit longer. So then I wanted to know if the users were able to reproduce audio in the inside of an article. So I asked them, just for fun, listen to the national anthem of that country. So there was a 60% of level of success in this one, in the way that they quickly went to the index, they locate the national anthem and they click on it. 60% of the participants did this one. The other 40% used the search bar. It was really interesting that they went to the search bar and they type national anthem of Brazil, for example. And they tried to look for this particular audio using that path. So it was not wrong, but it was not, it tells me something that for some user it's easier to search with the search bar, and for another user it's easier to search just navigating through the website. So the next features that I wanted to do more research about was about content scannability. How easy it was for the user to locate the information that they were looking for. In the same thought about the holiday, I asked them to know a little bit more about the weather conditions of the country that they were wanted to look for to visit. So yeah, some of them use the content index and some of them scroll around. So 40% of them were really quickly and they used the content, locate climate, click on it, and they were able to give me an answer really fast about the weather of that country. And 40% of them scroll around, look, browse a little bit, and after some time, they were able to give me the answer. And 20% of them use the search bar again, and they went and typed out weather of Spain, and it took them longer. They were not able to complete the task with success because when you type something so particularly in Wikipedia, it doesn't stay on Wikipedia, it takes you outside to Google. And yeah, they went outside and they had to come back. And that was this 20% took them 11 clicks, and it was not like a successful for them to complete the task. The medium was 1 minute with 35 seconds, but yeah, most of them were 80% of them were able to complete the task. And then I wanted to study more about the hyperlinks. If people were able to identify what part of the text was clickable and what part of the text was not. So yeah, I imagine that I wanted to ask them, like, imagine you want to read more about the information about the capital city of their destination country, and 80% of them were able to quickly locate in the menu the capital city of that country and click on it. They have no doubt that the blue means that you're able to click and go to another page and find more information. The time of task was 52 seconds, and yeah, it took between 2 to 4 clicks to arrive to the right answers. The other feature that I wanted to test was citations. I wanted to know if a user was able to identify who wrote a portion of the article that they are reading. So for this one, 40% of them quickly went to the numbers around the top of the letters, click on them, and they will quickly send to references. And 20% of them scroll around, went to the bottom of the page, find the references, and then they were, I really know how to do this one, and wait up, click on the numbers, and they were sent to references. And 40% of them have a complete failure. They told me I had no idea that you can even do this one, and they tried to look around, to browse around, but they were not able to find it. So this particular feature was interesting because the results were variable. So some people know how to do it, some people just didn't know, and some people just gave up during the process. And the last task, it was settings. I really wanted to know if people knew how to change the language in Wikipedia. 60% of them quickly locate the settings and change the language of the article. 20% of them were successful with issues. This means like it took them a while to browse around, to look around, and they found the settings. And 20% of them had no idea how to find them. And yeah, after looking and browsing around, I just gave up during the experience. So yeah, I've had several answers from the participants in this feature. And yeah, after doing the usability test, I was able to do a debriefing interview and to send them a survey, and they completed it. And this is the insight that I got from them. So the level of satisfaction and dissatisfaction with the Wikipedia website, most of them are satisfied with the information readability, information understandability, and the pictures and videos visibility. But I got mixed results on the navigation searching experience. And yeah, some of them are dissatisfied and some of them are very satisfied or satisfied. About what Wikipedia is doing well. Most users agree that it has a lot of information and that they like this one, that you know that in Wikipedia you can find a lot of information and that they have done a good job in incorporate more photos into the pages. They also appreciate the minimalist style of the interface because it's easier for them to scan and to read. And about what Wikipedia is doing wrong, they found that there are some unreliable sources, and the web page display could be overwhelming. The amount of information that they got is too much, and some pages are getting longer, and it's hard for them to scan. Yeah, about Wikipedia advocacy, this is doing really well. 100% of them will likely recommend Wikipedia to a colleague or a friend. About some additional testing that I'm proposing for this study. One of them is iterative testing. Iterative testing is a series of tests that I can do, revise, and then redo and redo it again. So this is really interesting because I can easily try new ideas in front of users, to access to their understanding of them in the screen. And once I learn from the study, I can make changes to the prototype and test again. Yeah, I would like to use the right method. And at first, I would like to test in a paper prototype. After that, I want to learn from it and work in a low fidelity wireframe because this is kind of easier for the user to have like a more understanding of what's going on in the screen, and then test again. Then I would like to do some testing with some accessibility tools. W3.org is a great website that contains like guidance of how to make websites, web applications, and what tools work better for all kind of users. And Accessibility, it's a website that is a good starting point to diagnose ADA and WCAG complaint and includes some aspects as readability, graphic menu orientations, titles, and clickables. So yeah, these two tools will give me a great opportunity to assess about how accessible Wikipedia is. And an eye tracking testing will be really interesting to do because this will help me identify where a person is looking when they are performing a task and how do people navigate the site because I during the study I realized that that's one of the biggest issues that the user have, that they don't really find the content in Wikipedia access to read or to browse around. So, an eye tracking testing will help me identify how they search, how they interact with the multimedia, and how do they find information. And yeah, I would like to propose also a stakeholder engagement plan. For this one, I would like to first educate everyone about the benefits of participation in the UX research. And making time and space for collaborations, like doing, if not weekly, maybe monthly meetings in which we all participate in a program and align my search goals with the stakeholders goals. I think that this is really important because we have to all be in the same page about what we wanted to do and what we are expecting from each other. So this is all. Thank you very much for your attention. And yeah, it was really fun to be part of this class. Uh, Thank you for everything, and yeah, take care.